Mhm. Okie dokie. Yes, people, here we are. We are going to be reading the book The Guardian by Nicholas Sparks. Yes, yes, yes. So welcome into the live, guys. Wanna come and make me read? Me just gonna read for about 1 hour. Yeah. Welcome into the live, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Trev from Trevessence. And today we are going to be reading the book The Guardian by Nicholas Sparks. And I haven't read this book. And I never read this book. And I don't remember ever having read anything by Nicholas Sparks. I could have, because I've read so many books. I sometimes don't even remember. It's not until I start reading the book again I remember. I say, oh, I remember this story. I remember reading this already. But anywho, Jamaica Farmers Hut is in the place. Grant is in the place. Welcome. Don't forget to hit the like button once you come into the live. Share the live. Invite your friends. You invite your friend, especially one them who can read, and tell them and tell them to come listen to me read. All right, we are going to move right along without further ado. Come along with me, guys, and let us read the book The Guardian by Nicholas Spike. Chapter 1. 4 years later. In the year since Jim had died, Julie Barrington had somehow found a way to start living again. It hadn't happened right away. The first couple of years after his death had been difficult and lonely. But time had eventually worked its magic on Julie, changing her loss into something softer. Though she loved Jim and knew that part of her would always love Jim, the pain wasn't as sharp as it had once been. She could remember her tears and the total vacuum her life had become in the aftermath of his death, but the searing ache of those days were behind her. Now, when she thought of Jim, she remembered him with a smile, thankful that he had been part of her life. She was thankful she was thankful she was thankful for Singer too. Jim had done the right thing by getting her a dog. In a way, Singer had made it possible for her to go on. But at that moment, while lying in bed on a cool spring morning in Swansboro, North Carolina, Julie wasn't thinking about what a wonderful support Singer had been during the past 4 years. Instead, she was mentally cursing his very existence while gasping for breath, thinking, I can't believe that this is the way I'm going to die, squashed in bed by my very own dog. With the singer's blade across her, pinning her to the mattress, she imagined her lips turning blue from oxygen deprivation. Get up, you lazy dog, she wheezed. You are killing me here. Snoring sounds Snoring soundly, Singer didn't hear her, and Julie began squirming, trying to bounce him from his slumber. Suffocating beneath Suffocating beneath weight, she felt as if she had been wrapped in a blanket and tossed in a lake, mafia style. I'm serious, she forced out. I can't breathe. Singer finally lifted his massive head and blinked at her groggily. What's all the racket about? He seems to be asking. Can't you see I'm trying to rest here? Get off! Julie rasped out. Singer yawned, pushing his cold nose against her cheek. Yeah, yeah, good morning, she gasped. Now scoot! With that, Singer snorted and found his forelegs, further squashing various parts of her as he got up and up and up and up. A moment later, towering over her with just a smudge of drool on his lips, he looked like something from a low-budget horror movie. Good Lord, she thought, he's huge. You would think that I'd be used to it by now. She took a deep breath and looked up at him, frowning. Did I say you could get into bed with me? She asked. Singer usually slept in the corner of her room at night. The past 2 nights, however, he had crawled in bed with her, or more accurately, on top of her. Crazy dog. Singer lowered his head and licked her face. No, you're not forgiven, she said, pushing him away. Don't even bother trying to get out of this. You could have killed me. You're almost twice as heavy as I am. Now get off the bed. Singer whined like a pouting child before hopping down to the floor. Julie sat up, ribs aching, and looked at the clock, thinking, all righty. She and Singer stretched at the same time before she pushed aside the covers. Come on, she said. I'll let you out before I get in the shower, but don't go sniffing around the neighbor's garbage cans again. They left a nasty message on my machine. Singer looked at her. I know, she said. It's only garbage, but some people are funny that way. Singer left the bedroom, heading towards the front door. Julie rolled her shoulders as she followed him. Her eyes closed for just a moment. Big mistake. On the way out the bedroom, she slammed her toe against the dresser. The pain shot from her toe up through her lower leg. After the initial scream, she began to curse, combining profanity in all sorts of marvelous permutations. Hopping on one foot in her pink pajamas, she was sure she looked like some sort of deranged Energizer bunny. Singer merely gave her a look that seemed to imply, what's the hold up? You got me up, remember? So let's get going here. I've got things to do outside. She groaned. Can't you see I'm wounded here? Singer yawned again, and Julie rubbed her toe before limping after him. Thanks for coming to my rescue. You are worthless in an emergency. A moment later, after Singer stepped on Julie's sore toe on his way out the door, Julie knew he had done it on purpose. He was outside. Instead of heading towards the garbage cans, Singer wandered over to the vacant wooded lots that bordered one side of the house. She watched as he swung his massive head from side to side, as if making sure that no one had planted any new trees or bushes during the preceding day. All dogs like to mark their territory, but Singer seemed to believe that somehow, if he found enough places to relieve himself, he'd be anointed king dog in all the world. At least it got him out of her hair for a while. Thank heaven for small favors, Julie thought. Singer had been driving her crazy for the last couple of days. He had followed her everywhere, refusing to let her go out of sight for even a few minutes, except when she put him outside. She hadn't even been able to put the dishes away without bumping into him a dozen times. He was even worse at night. Last night, he had a growling fit for an hour, which he had thoughtfully interspersed with an occasional bark, and the whole thing had left her fantasizing about buying either a soundproof kennel or an elephant gun. Not that Singer's behavior had ever been, well, ordinary, except for the peeing thing. The dog had always acted as if he thought he was human. He refused to eat out of a dog bowl. He had never needed a leash. And when Julie watched television, he would crawl up on the couch and stare at the screen. And when she talked to him, whenever anyone talked to him, for that matter, Singer would stare intently, his head tilted to one side, as if he were following the conversation. And half the time, it did seem as if he understood what she was telling him. No matter what she told him to do, no matter how ridiculous the command, Singer would carry it out. Could you go get my purse from the bedroom? Singer would come trotting out with it a moment later. Will you turn off the bedroom light? He'd balance on two legs and flick it with his nose. Put this can of soup in the pantry, okay? He had carried it in his mouth and set it on the shelf. Sure, other dogs were well trained, but not like this. Besides, Singer hadn't needed training, not real training anyway. All she had had to do was show him something once, and that was it. To others, it seemed downright eerie. But since it made Julie feel like a modern day Dr. Dolittle, she kept on doing it. She treat the dog like one of a human. Even if it did mean she talked to her dog in complete sentences, had arguments with him, and asked for his advice now and then. All right? Joseph, what's up? Jamaica Farmers Hut. Grant. The rain a fall, but me I go inside. I may I stop right here. So when me stop, yeah, I'm going to stop right here, guys. I'm going to come back later. Later, I will read the Bible. I'll read the Bible for you all later. Me definitely can't read it now, but I will read it for you all later. All right. But that book here, may I stop right here? So I have a book here, and I'm marking it. That I'll stop reading right now, and I will finish the reading on this book. I'll finish reading maybe this chapter and so forth. This, yes, I have two more pages before I have to go to the next chapter. So yes, this book seems like it's going to be a rather interesting book. It sounds like my kind of book, doesn't have all that violence and all of that stuff in there. So this seems like it's going to be a good read. All right. So guys, with that, Auntie Trevor go sleep. Me had them not for shut down for me two time. For me know some I time to go to bed. Yeah. So with that, guys, that's going to be the end of this little reading here. So for today, when we come back tomorrow, we will continue the reading of this one little book here. So until then, my dear friends and family and everybody whom I love, until next time, this is Trev from Trevessence, where your journey matters. And Trev is going to sleep now. So have yourselves a great day, everybody. We're gonna fall.